And welcome to the celebrated nightly news of Calaveras County. My name's John.
And I'm Kim.
And we thank you for stopping by tonight.
On a Tuesday evening.
It is. It is Tuesday evening, and it's kind of
December 9th.
County government night, isn't it?
Kind of is. I'd like to start off the evening with something kind of special. By many suggestions of lots of our viewers. They have come together, our community has come together to try to make sure that everybody in Calaveras County is provided with a Christmas dinner this year, as there were many that weren't as lucky to have a Thanksgiving dinner due to the amount of shortages.
Right.
So they have asked us to create a donation gauge on the front of our site. We will speak with HRC Santa's Express every morning to find out what their donations to date have been raised so far. So far, as of this morning, they had raised $26,425,
which is pretty amazing.
Which is very amazing.
I mean,
with all the fundraisers and the outpouring of our community spirit. Yeah. So we have that gauge posted on the pinetree.net, and we have put a goal of about $40,000 right here. So there's about approximately, I think it was going to be a little higher than 25,000 when I spoke with her this morning. I'm sorry, 26,000. That's wrong. We have 25. I think it's supposed to be 26.
26 so for 25.
They need to raise a little under 14,000 more to reach the $40,000 mark.
So my thermometer's wrong?
Yes.
Oh.
So we will be speaking with them every morning. You can send checks to HRC Santa's Express. You can drop off your donations at the physical address in San Andreas, and you can also drop off turkeys. They're looking for turkeys as of today. They did
so you're
say
just gonna drop me off there?
Yes, drop John off. Drop John off. Let me see. Just a note: we have over 1,200 applications, and we only do 650 baskets. And some families are adopted out. As you can see, not everyone will get a basket. Now, does this mean that they just can't do more than 650 because of funding or because of just volunteer?
I guess we need to ask. I mean, they may
find out on that. Maybe that's just all they do every year. I don't know if that's the maximum amount that they do for volunteer. Because anyway. If any of your churches or organizations that you belong to would like to adopt a family or individual, please call the ladies at the phone committee, and they will be glad to give you the information. The number is 754-1356 if anybody has any questions. The food bank will have some turkeys as well for the families that don't get a basket. But many families will do without the help this year. But if they receive these funds, I imagine they can get the help, correct?
It should help.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
So at least they'll have extra turkeys available and that kind of stuff, right?
Things like that, yes. Food donations, things like that. Because I know they did come up short during Thanksgiving just due to lack of funds.
Stuff.
Lack of stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. So the HR Food Bank, their goal is to feed the hungry. Eliminating hunger is their first goal. The HRC Food Bank collects and distributes food to county food pantries and also provides direct services to Calaveras County's low-income and families in crisis situations. So we have the information on the pinetree.net, and this was suggested by many, many viewers that we do something like this, so it is up now for your viewing pleasure.
Yeah. Now, on to this morning was Board of Supervisors meeting, and they were back in action in San Andreas this morning, and there was all kinds of fun and exciting stuff there today.
Somebody had John cease, so he wasn't able to live stream this
morning. There's one spot there where you have to have power to get to power. There's like one plug in the Board of Supervisors thing, and I need to make sure I'm there.
He didn't want to ask the gentleman to move.
Right.
So
we taped some clips.
Yes,
we have those going up on the site now. The first one we have up.
We will also have the full meeting like we always do.
Yes, we will. Yes. And the highlights of this morning's session, and I guess the big item fiscally was that they did pass the new consulting firm to oversee the construction of the new jail. That passed on a 5-0 vote. A couple things, though, is they wanted a couple of the supervisors stressed that they want to make sure that the language in the contract, because
And the name of the company is Kitchell CEM Incorporated?
Correct.
Okay.
And they wanted to make sure that, because in today's economy, they want to make sure that local contractors and stuff, that's not ensuring that they would get the bid to be able to participate, but they wanted to make sure that the language in the contract does not preclude local contractors. So, for example, and sometimes in projects such of this size, the language in the statement of work or the qualifications would make it difficult to impossible for a local contractor to even participate in the bidding process. That was one of the things that the supervisors hoped this morning, that as they write the specs for this, they try to do so in a way that would at least allow local contractors to bid.
Okay.
And that was, just one of the issues on that this morning.
Fish and Game.
Fish and Game. Grant Metzger, the county assessor, who is also a local Fish and Game commissioner, addressed the board on the, I guess we call it the fish stocking crisis.
Yes.
And for those of you who've been following this issue, you may know that there was a lawsuit brought forward on behalf of an environmental group, and the legal work was done by some Stanford University law students. And basically the lawsuit prohibits the stocking of non-native fish in some of these smaller lakes and bodies of water without unless there has been an environmental impact report done that would show the effect of those fish species.
So this basically says anything can't have trout.
Well, yeah, I mean Maloney's, the big ones where it's not going to affect the big bodies of water. Hogan, Maloney's, Comanche, those, it's not going to happen. So basically what it's going to affect is the lakes that have the kids fishing derbies up and down, Spicer, Lake Alpine, White Pines Lake. Now different lakes over in District 2 as well. And these are the ones that a lot of the kids and the parents, they'll come up here for the summer, they want to get a little fishing license, have little catch their first fish on the hook, that kind of stuff. And that's what it would affect. Now, the other interesting wrinkle today is it looks like that, and this is kind of an interesting wrinkle, is that while the lawsuit bars the Department of Fish and Game from stocking the ponds, it does not affect the ability of the local Fish and Game commissions from stocking the ponds.
Okay.
But that affects them fiscally, because a local Fish and Game Commission does not have the funding resources or anything else like the Department of Fish and Game will. But I know that the local Fish and Game Commission has stocked ponds, for example, at the Kids Fishing Derby that is always held at the winery, held at out on Pennsylvania, Indian Rock on the wine. That has been a Fish and Game Commission stocked event. So it does open it up to where they may be allowed, if funding is, they can find local funding available to be able to stock for the fishing derby up at White Pines. Some of the other local ones, so it would not have it may be able to soften some of the blow from this a little bit. So instead of having a Santa's Express fundraiser, we'll have a fish stocking fundraiser.
Fish stocking fundraiser, okay. So what was the outcome?
Well, that was it. I mean, basically, it was an informational thing to where Mr. Metzger made his report to the board on this. And if you want to impact this issue, this is something where the only way it's going to be done is through the legislative branch. Call your representative. Maybe with how fiscal impacts that this would have on the local areas. That's another way to do it.
I would imagine so, especially in this area up here. Up in the high country, right?
Yes. Also, another thing is
what else did they talk about today?
Well, there was all kind of stuff. And Linda Churches was honored today. Calaveras County Auditor and Controller's Office earned Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting from the Government Finance Officers Association. So, wee little old Calaveras County, Linda S. Churches is delighted to announce that the Calaveras County Auditor Controller's Office has earned the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting from the Government Finance Officers Association. This distinguished achievement is awarded to the County of Calaveras for its comprehensive annual financial report and for the 5th consecutive year.
Yes.
So, and as we were there this morning, there was a nice Supervisor Steve Walensky did a very nice award.
My tea? Are you thirsty?
Unless you want me to start coughing. Never mind, I won't.
I thought you were just getting nervous and grabbing.
It was...
you don't usually like to share drinks. I was wondering why you were grabbing mine. Here, have some, please.
No. That's quite all right. That was, so anyway, that was one of the nice things at the Board of Supervisors meeting this morning. The other one is Trinitas was back before the board on public comment. And there were 3 proponents of the project before the board this morning. There was the head of the San Joaquin County Builders Association, which represents some of the builders groups, and there was also head of one of the San Joaquin County construction workers unions there, speaking on behalf of the project, stating that this area needs the jobs and the revenue from those jobs and everything else that it could be put forward. And also, Corey Burnell was there from Valley Springs, who is a financial analyst and consultant from Valley Springs, was there also to bring forward some analysis of an economic benefit for the county of a business such as Trinitas there.
Okay.
And also, I think you're going to find the next few weeks is the whole Trinitas project will probably come to a head. And in some ways, it may come to head with, in some ways, maybe a little more than a whimper, because this has been a very controversial project. But some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that has kind of been an open secret the last probably 6 months or so is that the county and how the county itself has handled this project going forward, going back over the last, say, 4 years, may actually have put themselves in a position to be financially on the hook for this project, regardless of its eventual outcome. We were actually shown some documentation today that shows that of department heads actually giving official, basically on the record as proponents of it in a manner that may have actually allowed or helped the backers of the project actually achieve some of their funding. So I think this is an issue that where if you're looking at to where if the county does not ultimately approve this project, there may be a huge fiscal downside for the county. And I think that in some ways, one of the expected outcomes that many people are starting to feel now is that the county may have to just, for fiscal reasons, get out of the way and in some ways just let this project go forward, or at the very least let the golf course itself open for business and go forward, because there's been a lot of stuff that just hasn't been made public yet, that we've been hearing behind the scenes. We were shown documentation of today that it'll change the complexity of this argument significantly going forward. So it'll be interesting as if you've been following the Trinitas project, and wanted to say this is not an issue of, I think, sides being for the project or against the project, or in that is, but I think that there may be some real legal and fiscal reasons why that the county may actually be put into a position to have to see this thing go forward. Because most people agree that on this one, this has been such a contentious project that this will probably be litigated at some point anyway, no matter how it eventually comes out. But it will be anyway. It just bears watching, and we're going to bring more on that. but it will. The next few weeks will start telling the tale.
Okay. So they also talked mobile data terminal system services for the Calaveras County Sheriff's Department. Were you there during that?
I missed that portion.
You missed that part?
Because I think I was out looking in documents in a trunk.
Oh, you were in a trunk. Okay.
Yes,
so anything else?
We were doing a document deal out.
Anything else on the agenda?
Oh,
today
there was it was interesting stuff.
So it was needed to talk about.
The new HRC human warehouse is going forward over in San Andreas, and construction on that has been going forward really ahead of schedule.
Okay.
And there'll be more stuff that we'll post, but I think those are some of the bigger issues.
Okay. Let me see here. There was the meeting tonight in San Andreas.
The water meeting.
The water meeting tonight was being held in San Andreas. Let me see. Don Winkler, Cal firefighter, passed away on Saturday in a tragic motorcycle accident, a solo motorcycle accident. He was a firefighter with the Tuolumne Calaveras County unit. Don completed his 6th season as a firefighter stationed at the Columbia Air Base, where his main duty was to load the air tankers with fire retardant. Let me see. Services for Mr. Winkler will be held on Saturday, December 13th in Camarillo, California. In honor of Mr. Winkler, flags within TCU will be flown half staff starting Monday, December 8th, which was yesterday, 8 a.m., and will turn to full staff Sunday the 14th at 8 a.m. There will be a memorial held locally. However, the date has not been determined. So he was tragically killed in a motorcycle collision on Saturday in Tuolumne County. I guess he lost control of the motorcycle and perished at the scene. Our deepest thoughts and prayers go out to his family and friends during this time.
And there have just been way too many.
Mm-hmm. There was an accident this evening that didn't look like. There's actually a rollover accident where it said the person was pinned in the vehicle, but we didn't hear anything further. So
it cleared pretty easily. So it looks
hopefully there were no injuries there.
Or if so, they were not severe.
Yes.
So.
Furlough forces closure of the Tuolumne County Sheriff's Office during the holidays. So the Tuolumne County Sheriff's Office will be taking a 2-week vacation.
If you aim to be packing with that concealed weapons permit, you're going to have to wait 2 weeks? Isn't that the...
It will be closed starting Wednesday, December 4th through Friday, January 2nd. This is due to the furlough process that is being implemented throughout the county due to budgetary constraints.
And I was joking, but what are the departments that are going to be affected?
The services that will be affected are civil, coroner, public records requests, concealed weapon permits, administration, and other non-emergency services.
So if the coroner's office is going to be on furlough as well, so does that mean that nobody can pass away during that time frame?
It doesn't happen anyway yet.
Right?
Exactly.
So that's good news, right? So if the office is closed, then then nobody's supposed to pass away, right? Isn't that the?
I guess so.
Isn't that the deal?
We're going to talk Tuolumne County. There was a couple more arrests made. Robbery in Columbia under investigation. On December 9th, 2008, Deputy Gempler and Corporal Nikki Forick responded to reported assault at a residence on Woods Creek Way in Columbia. Upon their arrival, they located the victim who had been assaulted. She said she was assaulted by one of the suspects, and the suspects took his guitars from his residence. This is being under investigation, as there has not been anybody arrested yet. Another arrest took place. In that case, there wasn't an arrest. But in this next case, there was. Domestic violence arrest on December 8th at approximately 10:30 p.m. Deputy DeRocher, Brouillette, and Chaplin were dispatched to a reported assault involving a firearm. When deputies arrived, they spoke with the victim, reported her estranged husband returned to her residence and assaulted her and then threatened her with a gun. The suspect was located at the residence nearby and was arrested. The suspect was booked for domestic violence charges, threatening with a firearm. He has been released on bail. I don't have the names, so I guess for a reason.
And one of the other things is we want to bring this up is I think in some of the you're starting to see more of this stuff. For example, over the weekend, we received email from a viewer wanting to know what some of the law enforcement activity was along the Hathaway Pines area. There was also, for example, the Calaveras County Sheriff's Office was responding to a domestic dispute there. And as we understand, this may have been a domestic dispute that had been going on for, well, at least with law officer involvement for, if it's the same case, and it may not be, but if it is, it was one that was going on for over a day. Had various officers out there at different times. So we live in interesting times.
Yes.
So anyway, we do, and that's
There is a CCWD board meeting tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. General meeting of the Calaveras Garden Club at 11 a.m. San Andreas Sanitary District public meeting tomorrow evening at 5 p.m. That's actually going to be an important meeting tomorrow evening. Did you see that one? What they're going to be discussing.
Which was the San Andreas Sanitary? What was what's on the?
Let me see. To look for it. Oh, I don't know. It's down there somewhere.
It's down there somewhere?
Yeah, I'm scrolling too fast.
All right.
It's on the front page if you want to help me look for it. That would be great. They are having a mixer this week for the Chamber of Commerce.
Why, yes, they are.
Held in the Copperopolis Town Square.
And they're going to be doing lots of ribbon cuttings as well. It will be a veritable ribbon cutting bonanza.
Yes. They're meeting on the 10th to consider establish of a new capacity charge. That's right. I knew it was important. I knew I had to do this. Tomorrow evening at 5 p.m. Let me see. Did I say 5 p.m.? 5 p.m. Then we have Wines of the World, 5:30 p.m. tomorrow evening at the Murphy's Historic Hotel. Toy On Winter Concert. The Toy On School is putting on their winter holiday concert tomorrow evening at 6:30 p.m. So, the Murphy's SIRS Holiday Dinner Dance at 5:30 p.m.
Are you going?
No, are you?
The Sons in retirement. Those guys, they know how to have a good time.
I know they do. I remember we got pictures of last year's.
Yeah, I mean
they'll send us some pictures.
They know how to have a good time. They really
do. Yes, they do. Also tomorrow is the Calaveras Visitors Bureau Holiday Open House all day long.
Yeah, they know how to have a good time too.
Yes, they do. They know how to have a good time.
I mean, all day long.
I believe it starts at 9 a.m. and it goes until, let me see here, 9 to 6.
Wow.
On Main Street, visitors are encouraged to attend and pick up a holiday calendar and browse through discount merchandise. Yes, all day long tomorrow.
Very nice.
So, and that's where Lisa Reynolds works, right?
Mayo
now.
Yes, now
very nice. Sister of the Pine Tree Peddler, Brett Loring.
You're right.
Yes. Tomorrow is also today and tomorrow are no burn days. Tomorrow's a no burn day.
So you can't set me on fire
I cannot set you on fire
for at least
tomorrow.
another couple days.
At least for another couple days. Bear Valley may open this weekend. We're not sure yet. We have not heard. We know they were making snow. I don't know.
Well, the nice thing is about the cold temps is what are they showing still?
The same
are they
thing.
Still? They are.
Yesterday I looked. So we're kind of waiting to hear because our kids are going to be skiing on the teams this year. So we need
tentative opening.
Tentative opening is this Saturday. So there's also the Winter Sports History Night this Saturday evening at the Lodge in Bear Valley. They're dedicating who?
It will be to
Tim. Who did I say it was earlier?
There we go. Where it is
Dave McTaggart.
Dave McTaggart
is the honoree this year,
and he was instrumental in a lot of the early years of Bear Valley, and when the early creation and growth of the facility. So and they always do a very nice job on this.
Yes, they do.
You may recall that last year the Rasmussens were honored.
Everything the Lodge does, they do a nice job. Have you ever noticed that?
Mark Phillips does a very nice job up there at the Lodge.
He's very good at planning events.
And it's smooth. It's always low key.
Yes, it's always family friendly.
Good food.
Good food. So it's fun to go hang out at the Lodge.
It is.
It is fun.
Yeah. Anyway, we thank you very much and have a great night, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Good night.